welcome to Cooking with Lynn. I'm cooking again for the Cumberland Library. Today I am making chicken pot pie, and I know a lot of people are starting to think about springtime cooking and summertime cooking, grilling and all that stuff, but we still got plenty of rainy days ahead of us and some raw chilly days, so there's nothing better than some comfort food, and we're still in the kind of weather where we're going to want to do that. So I'm going to make some chicken pot pie for you today. So I'm going to just talk about the ingredients a little bit first, and then we'll get cooking. So I make my chicken pot pie with puff pastry, and there you can use regular pie dough or I don't know, phyllo probably, but I use puff pastry, and I buy it. I don't make it because why? This one comes, there's two. So what I'm going to be doing is, just chuck that over there. I'm going to be using these little individual, two of them. So you could do this in a regular casserole size dish or pie plate or whatever you have that's oven safe. It's going to cook at 425, so it needs to be oven safe for that temperature. So I'm going to use these, so this will be like an individual serving, and the puff pastry will go with that. So I just show you what I did real quick. So I just cut it up into approximate size of what those little ramekins are, and you could make little individual ramekins too, little small ones. So you would just cut the puff pastry to fit whatever vessel you're using. So I just got that ready and left it on a floured board, and I stuck it in the fridge because you want to keep it cold. So come over here, and okay, so let's talk about what else we need. All right, we're gonna need chicken. So I bought a rotisserie chicken, kind of cheated a little bit. And you could certainly, just if you have leftover chicken, or just make some chicken. I use chicken breast, you can use chicken thighs. You need chicken broth, carrots. This is about 3 carrots. The recipe will be with the video, so you won't need to worry about that. Pearl onions, if you don't like them, leave them out. And some peas, frozen. I'm using frozen. You could certainly use just a can of just mixed vegetables if you want, throw that in, or you could use string beans in there, kind of whatever you want really. And I got some celery, I have an onion that I just cut up, and some garlic. You're going to need flour to thicken the sauce, and a little thyme and some seasoning, salt and pepper, that sort of thing. So I'm going to get cooking. So hopefully you can see everything that's going on. Get that going. So I'm going to start with 4 tablespoons of butter, and again, weirded out because the laptop's there and you're up there, so don't mind me if I'm looking all over the place. I'm going to put about 4 tablespoons of butter, and normally I would saute vegetables in olive oil, but butter is used in this case for flavor. Add some flavor. Just cut it up a little bit so it'll cook a little faster, melt a little faster. I'm going to do that. It's going to take a little bit to get your veggies cooked down so that they're not super hard, because the oven's ready. Because they only go in the oven for like 20 minutes, so they're not really going to cook that much. And celery and carrots can take a while to cook down, so we're going to cook them in a pan first and make our sauce. And actually, there's kind of a lot of ingredients, but if you had a rotisserie chicken and you're using puff pastry or pie dough or whatever, you could do this a weeknight and throw it together pretty quickly. All right, we're pretty much melted, so I'm going to throw the onion in. This is just 1 yellow onion, diced. Add in there. And then some carrots, just 3 carrots, diced however you want. The smaller you dice them, the faster they're going to cook. And we're going to get our celery in there also. Get that all sweated down together. And it sounds terrible, but that really is a cooking term, sweating. Get some salt in there. And some pepper. Alright. Now let's move that around. cooking down. And it's going to take a few minutes, and I may end up pausing you so you don't have to stand there and watch food cook. But in the meantime, I am going to, oh, I got my onions. My onions in there. You can leave these out if you don't like them. If you have kids, they're probably going to be like, what are you feeding me? Because they're, you know, they're good size, and you kind of hide the little tiny diced onion, but these pearl onions, kind of hide them from your kids. Okay. Next, I'm going to dice up some garlic. I'm going to mince it small. I just have 2 here. Use, or if you like more, less. Leave it out if you don't want it. I don't have flour all over me already. The minute I touch flour, I'm a mess. I'm not a baker, and I'm better at cooking, and I don't know, something about flour in me, the minute I touch it, it's all over me. That's going good. Make it nice and small, so just keep running your knife over it. You could do this on a rasp, you know, like a zester, whatever you want to call it, microplane. So that it's really, really, really hidden. But I don't mind. Rinsing up some garlic. I'm not going to put it in right away because garlic can burn and taste really bitter. So we'll put that in a minute. Rinse my hands. Okay. Move this around. Let's see what's going on now. A little washed out. What's that lighting? Is that better? You can see it looks just all white in the up top. I'm making a mess. Alright. So when we're on high, let me throw this in. Alright. Instead of making you wait 8 minutes, let's go to a commercial. I'm gonna pause. I'm not gonna pause. Hello, I'm back. We're back. Okay, so these have been sauteing for probably about 7 or 8 minutes, and they're nice and translucent. So they've cooked down quite a bit, and you can tell, you know, just kind of poke. Turn this off. You're just, you know, stab one of the carrots and see. It's okay if it's still got a little bit of crunch to it because it is going in the oven, so it doesn't have to be completely cooked. But it's looking good. And you're not trying to caramelize them, so you don't want it on super high, and you're not trying to get them brown, even though some of them did brown a little bit. But I get very uneven cooking on this burner for some reason, but it's just, you're just sweating them down and cooking them down. So the next thing we're going to do is throw in our flour. So I've got 1/3 of a cup of flour. I'm going to toss that in, kind of spread it around so it doesn't clump too much. And let's just spread that around, and let's get it, turn that down a bit. So you want to cook that raw flour taste out, so I'm just going to get that all incorporated. It's going to be a little dry and seem a little strange. That's the way it is. Just get it all in there. That's going to make the sauce nice and thick. I just want to cook for just a couple of minutes. I've always got veggies that are jumping ship here. Okay. Just for a couple minutes. Keep moving it around. Keep the heat down a little bit low at this point. Now we're going to throw in our chicken broth. So I've got just, I like to do unsalted or low sodium just because, you know, I like to control how much sodium and salt I'm putting in. So it's 2.5 cups. I don't know if I need to open that second one, probably. Yeah. So that was 2. And just a little bit more. Okay. So now at this point, we can crank this a little bit because we want it to boil. Get that flour to thicken and do its thing. Just kind of scrape up whatever's stuck to the bottom. stir it around. It'll start to thicken up once it starts to boil. Okay. So now we're going to watch this boil. Well, that's not too exciting. So maybe I'll give you a little pause again and we'll be back. Okay, came to a boil, got nice and thick. I don't know if you can see. Turn the light off again. See how much that thickened up. And so now we're going to add, so I was supposed to add heavy cream. I don't have any. I'm adding milk. You could add sour cream or Greek yogurt, something like that. It's just to make it a little creamy. You don't even have to add it at all if you don't want to. So you want to add it off the heat. So take it off the heat after it's bubbled and boiled before you add the milk. And then we're going to throw the chicken in. Now, this is going to be way too much for what I have, for the pans that I have, the baking dishes. But, you know, I don't mind leftovers, and I can certainly do something else with what's left. And I'm going to throw my peas in. Again, leave it out if you don't like it. Throw some little string beans in or whatever else you like. But that looks pretty yummy so far. Now I'm going to just throw in a tablespoon of thyme. I don't have any fresh thyme, so actually I'm going to do a little less because it's not fresh thyme. So I'm just going to sprinkle that in. And I would also add pepper at this point. I would add white pepper, but I don't have any, so I'm going to add pepper. Just a little. Alright, now, it's the fun and probably messy part. I'm going to put it in my dishes. That's all there is to that. Okay, so put them on a cookie sheet and with some foil because it probably will bubble over in the oven. It's going on 425 for about 20 to 25 minutes. I'm going to spray this. Hopefully my puff pastry is going to cooperate. Okay, so I'm going to use that. This is sure to be messy. Get it as close as you can. Get a big spoon. Just going to spoon this in. It's going to be way too much. Fill it up about 3/4. Really does look delicious. Perfect on a day like today. I don't know what the weather will be like when you're watching this, but today is a good day for this because it's really yucky out. It's raining and windy and not pretty. And again, you can use little ramekins, do little individual ones for everybody. This is supposed to serve 4 to 6. This is probably going to actually be just enough for these little dishes. And if we eat it all, we eat it all. If we don't, leftovers are great. More in there. But yeah, and the little ramekins would be good. And you could do it just one whole one. And do it in a pie plate if you don't have anything else. So now we're going to put the puff pastry right over the top. Just press it. Now this is rustic, so we're just going to press it over the edges. If you can see what I'm doing here. Let's see. Get that out of the way. Just pressing. So that it's kind of sticks to the side. It's going to puff up. Hopefully. It should. It says puff pastry right in the name. It should puff. That's its job. You could crimp it and make it all pretty and whatever you want. Okay. And then we'll do the other one. And then we're going to put a little egg wash on it and get it in the oven. And there's a really good chance, like I said, that it will bubble over and make a mess. So definitely put it on a cookie sheet. Don't leave it to chance, because you'll be cleaning your oven later and being mad at yourself for not doing that. Put a little egg on the rim of the ramekin so that it sticks a little better, but it should be fine. Getting fussy here. Alright, come on, stick. Spot does not want to stick. Okay. Alright, so we're just going to egg wash. Just one egg. And just beat it. Put on a little water to thin it out if you want. Okay. And just lightly, just brush the whole thing. It'll come out nice and golden brown and puffed up. Where's that? Get up there. Okay, just about there. I want a little puddle because then you'll get scrambled eggs in the middle. Just brush it on thinly. Don't bust it too much. Alright. That's all there is to it. Alright, going in the oven. Gotta move this back. Going in. No, we're not, because this is in the way. Here we go. Business. Alright, I'm going to set the timer for 20 to 25 minutes and then we'll check on it. I'll be right back. Alright, these guys came out of the oven and they came out really, really good. Check it out. Nice and golden brown. Puffed up nicely. And I let them, I let it cook through. I could see some spots in the middle that were still kind of soggy, so you want to make sure that that middle cooks. The edges will probably cook first. I was supposed to vent it, which I forgot to do, just put a couple slits in it, but it's no harm, no big deal. And it did bubble over, so it's a good thing that I put it on that cookie sheet. So I didn't, I'm not going to cut into it right now because we're not quite ready to eat, but I had some left over, and I tasted it, and I gotta tell you, pretty yummy. So I hope you try it. Excuse me. Let me finish chewing. Okay, so give us a try while I choke. Excuse me. I know I shouldn't have done that. Try it out for yourself and check out my other videos on YouTube, Cumberland Public Library. Subscribe to the page and you can see all the other cooking things I've done, and also the other programming that we're doing. We've got a kids cooking program. It's like a Chopped for kids, virtual Chopped. That's a lot of fun and the kids seem to really like it. There's all kinds of things going on. Most of the programs are still virtual, but we're getting there. So let's keep up the good work and stay safe, and I'll see you next time.